NSFW, what's the best thing that happened to you in Truth or Dare? I was playing Truth or Dare with my sister's friends and I dared one of them to do something, and after one of them says, "You could have dared someone to kiss you and you would have gotten your first kiss." That immediately set a light off in my head, and later in the night I asked if I could kiss her and I did. So I got to kiss a really pretty girl. Got dared to kiss my back then HS crush. Couldn't do it, not because I'm kinda shy but because it was my crush, so I denied and got booed out. She later came to check up on me and asked if I wanna do it. Now that the others weren't around. Of course I said yes and we kissed. First on the cheek. Then normally. Afterwards she giggled and told me she liked it. There never came anything from it, but I still think of her quite a lot these days. I found out a girl I had a crush on me. My friend dared the girl I had a crush on to kiss me. She stared at me and said I can't do it. He's too ugly, and the other girls said the same thing. I ended up being ignored for the rest of the game. Good times equals. Edit. I was 12 when it happened. That event was one of the reasons why I grew up with low self-esteem. I'm over it now. But talking about it made me feel better, as I never mentioned this tragedy before. Thanks. Y'all. Peace. That girl I had a crush on tried to hit on me last year. With that time worked out well on you, kinda thought. I did too. I didn't think that a lot of PPL would sympathize with my story. Thanks a lot. You all made my year better. It was a girl's 19th birthday party and my buddy from high school was there. Everyone was being lame and awkward, so I suggested Truth or Dare. The game went on for a while, but people were getting progressively more naked and horny as most of them were drinking. I was the DD for another friend at the party and the people staying were getting raunchier, so we split. The birthday girl and my high school buddy hooked up and they've been together for about 7 years now and have a daughter together. I was dared to read a fanfic out loud. I was about 12 at a friend's sleepover. I was dared to go home by a kid who didn't like me too much. I walked the 2 miles home, and as I came to my driveway my older brother had just pulled in. He had 3 baby raccoons with him because he had hit their mother while delivering pizza. I got to spend the rest of the night with him. I'm way late, but the first day I met my wife we played a game of Truth or Dare. She asked me, "Truth, what kind of clothes on a girl do you like?" Then the next day she showed up to my house in those clothes. I thought these stories just happened in movies. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. We were too old to be playing Truth or Dare. Like 20 years old. My friend had only seen boobs in his dad's Playboys. He hadn't even kissed a girl yet. Some woman was dared to show everyone her tits. My friend was silently stoked. He didn't cheer out loud. But I knew he was giddy. As the woman lifted her shirt and bra. Some other goober leaned right in front of my friend and blocked his view. It was over before my friend could react. He complained about it for weeks. We've laughed about it for years. Was sitting outside at a college campus and was dared to yell "I love you" to the next person I saw. I did, and this dude yells it back and keeps walking. We go back and forth, getting louder and louder as he walks off. So my hair is pretty long. My friends used me as a mop to clean the wet floor. It was a fun idea. Wasn't fun, but remembering it is ahaha. The best thing was getting my lap sat on by my crush and a kiss on the cheek from her. Was dared to catch a frisbee in my teeth from across the yard. So, walked outside and across the yard. Girl wound up. Threw the frisbee. Figured this ought to be funny when it bounces off my face. And as a total fluke. Actually caught it in my teeth. Similar story. I was the annoying kid in 6th grade and my friends bullied me. Once some kid was talking, so we started arguing. Then he threw a GRP at me. I caught that in my teeth without breaking eye contact. Truth. What's the most interesting place you've had sex? I've never had sex, not in a bed. Oh, do I have a 2001 Grand Am backseat for you? I had a 2001 Grand Am backseat for her. I wasn't even playing and someone dared a girl I like to kiss me. That someone became a very good friend. My 2 straight male friends got in their underwear and scissored each other while singing Fancy Living. Here we come. From SpongeBob. Narrator. They didn't come. I'm reading all these comments and damn, I got dared to go home. Wasn't me, but a girl was dared to mirror what I do. So I made her hug a guy I knew liked her. Edit. A girl, I didn't have a crush on her. But she was nice. Flashed me. She also let me fondle her boobies. I know it's lame considering some of the responses here. I made my friend's boyfriend make out with a 4-foot tall nutcracker. That's the best I got. Broke the ice with my current fiance playing it. One of the coolest nights of my life. Till Truth or Dare is a SZOL game. Nothing like reading people's experiences about Truth or Dare to remind me of how much of a virgin I truly am. I found out who took my calculator. Got to make out with a girl I was crushing on. After reading all of this, I've decided Tinder Meet Me, I'm going to make a Truth or Dare app. I was at work, high school job at a department store. And the 4 of us in my department were playing Truth or Dare. Mostly dumb work stuff like a Sigo mix up those shirts. Someone dared the girl who had a rep as being experienced, who was a couple years older than me, to give me a blowjob. She told me to take a break with her. I played along. We went to her car. She actually blew me in the store parking lot. I once dared a friend to order me a pizza, so that was pretty good. I got to see my friend's sister's boobs and watch him lick an electric fence all in the same day. I'm so glad you said electric fence. Did a belly shot of Powerade. Was designated driver off my girlfriend. I got to grab a girl's boob under the shirt. I was 16 and it was awesome. Was it like a bag of sand? We dared this girl to give a friend of mine a lap dance using the first song that came up when he shuffled his entire song library. A guy told me I was beautiful and that he was too shy to always tell me that cause he thought I was way out of his league. I chose truth every time because I was super boring and had nothing to hide. I got made fun of that weekend. But Monday morning the nasty wannabe popular bitch went around spreading everyone's secrets. And the ridiculous dares they did. Everyone except me. Boring for the win. Kissed a girl that would later become my first ever girlfriend. But is now my ex. Cute girl pulled her pants down and full on sat on my face for a solid minute. I was a late bloomer in HS. By the time I realized I may be attractive to anyone, it was over. Our senior year party for an art magnet school. We played this. A girl I had a fairly solid crush on, popular cheerleader, a good friend, was asked who she had fantasized about, and I was the answer. 1. Blew my mind. 2. Gave me the guts to ask her out. 3. It was a horribly awkward silly lunch date. 4. Built my confidence a lot heading into college. A silly story. But it was a good one. Got to play my very first, and only, Truth or Dare game when I moved to the US for college. With a bunch of people who I would characterize as moderately to severely religious. I was not. But those were the first people I had met. So I went with it. Needless to say, it was tame and clean. Worst thing someone got dared to do was walk up to a stranger and sing the national anthem. Reading all the responses here, I never imagined the game could be so interesting and sexually charged. I definitely missed out. Ed Bush. George or Jeb. Made out with. And low-key felt up. My older next door neighbor. Had a crush on her for a while before then. So it's a very fond memory. Got to finally kiss a girl I really liked. Got to see a hot girl's tit imprints in the snow. Not too impressive, I know. But teenage me had that picture engraved in my head for a while. Lol. I'm not a girl, but I think that would hurt like a bitch. Girl got dared to spin the bottle and give a blowjob to whoever it lands on right in front of everybody. The bottle didn't point at me, but I had a nice view right next to the girl it did land on. Apparently, she had experience dining at the Y. Saw boobs. 10/10. Would see again. But 0/10 will. I went to an acquaintance's birthday. We spoke maybe 10 times prior. After a while she was down to just her bra and panties. That's when she was dared to seduce me. Well, she was kind of awkward, so her version of seduction was just to tackle me while we were both near naked. That was a great night and we're celebrating our first year of marriage next weekend. I won $20 by doing a dare in which I ran outside in my underwear when it was sleeting outside. $20 is $20. Not much. But a friend of mine earned the nickname Big Dick Chris, or BDC for short, after a game. For short. Crush sat on my lap the rest of the game. My lil soldier had a hard time staying focused. Good times though. I was allowed to join the game. Got dared to ignore getting tits rubbed in my face for a minute. A boy can poker face like a champion. Best minute of my teenage life. Edit. To clear a couple of things up. It was a woman rubbing her boobs in my face and they weren't clothed. I got to motorboat a girl's tits. It was in a hotel during a school sport trip. My best friend knew I liked her and did me a solid. I got a blowjob from a girl up the street once. All the other times ended up with me jumping off a hotel into the pool or some stupid like that. Why am I still reading this thread? My friend had a game called Cosmopolitan Truth or Dare. It was a card game that had a truth or a dare question on it. We played with a set of twins once who pulled a dare that read cover your chests in whipped cream and rub them together, and they actually did it. In 8th grade I was dared to show this girl my dick. We went to a bathroom. I was 13 and horny, so I had a hard on. I pointed it down and she didn't know the difference. She told her friends later and I kinda got a reputation of having a big dick even though I'm completely average. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver. This really blew up. We take those. I was 16 and my group of friends were sitting in a sauna. Everyone was covered up by a towel. When one of the girls said we should play truth or dare, I got dared to show my dick to one of the girls, so we went out to the changing room showers that is attached to the sauna and I showed her my dick and she gave me my first hand job, and later that night we had sex. Ended up together for about 6 years before I found out she had been cheating on me like a lot. I got to watch my friend lick the floor for 10 seconds. Keep going. Group us were in these tunnels that we like to hang out in and our friend was dared to give me a blowjob. Which she actually did. Best 10 seconds I ever had down there. Ended up dating on and off for the next 2 years or so. Apparently I played some lame ass versions of truth or dare. Man, when I went to school I saw the guy get to suck a girl's tit in TD. I'm still ed to this day it wasn't me. Semicolon. Edit. Damn karma. I was at like 2k, now it's 11k. I was wonder what post. Your edit wasn't your tit? I never got to play truth or dare, but I did play duck duck goose. It was not fun sitting there the whole time. I was dared to drink all of the drinks on the table. Someone dared me to kiss a lady that I happened to have a thing for anyway. It was a very long time before we stopped kissing. Dated her for 3 years. Great lady. Always a little sad it didn't work out. I got to watch my middle school friend, it was winter, go down to the yard, strip to boxers and run a lap around the yard. Needless to say we were all impressed and hysterically laughing. I got to hug a girl. This wasn't that good of a comment tbh, so I edited it. Made out with this chick I had a crush on. Turns out she had a boyfriend. He beat the out of me. Edit. At a birthday sleepover, I was dared to kiss this girl and we both were like I never back down from a dare. So we did a quick peck and were like was show in front of everyone. Later, when everyone else was asleep, We made out in a closet for a very long time. I learned I was a lesbian then. Edit. Change the word gay to lesbian because I'm a lady and people seemed confused. Shari was dared to spend 10 minutes in a dark room, nearby Den, with the guy of her choice. She chose me. Turned out to be a setup. Her best friend knew that Shari had a crush on me and made this happen. Anyway. It was the hottest, fastest makeout session to date for me. We were both naked above the waist and she had her hand in my zipper. At 10 minutes there was an unwelcome knock on the door. How were Shari's berries? Rather tame compared to some of the that I've seen, and may or may not be envious of, in this thread. But one time when I was like 13-14, playing truth or dare at a sleepover, I was dared to walk into my friend's sister's room. They were 17 and 19, without knocking and just shout boobs. The only condition I set forth was that I was allowed to bolt back to his room and lock the door so they couldn't beat me up. I did it. And all I saw was the confused faces of his sisters, who had already gone to sleep, staring at my scrawny shirtless pubescent face yelling boobs at 2 AM. Disappointing and anticlimactic as. But that's what happens when you don't have friends. I made some friends. Found out a girl had a crush on me. I played truth or dare in a pub in my hometown. It was pretty normal for me and my friends and their friends to play that there because none of us were afraid to do anything except getting naked or something like that. I got a dare to kiss a girl to my right. Decided not to do so even though she was up for that. Later that evening I saw her with her boyfriend. I am relieved that I decided to dodge a bullet there. In high school I was offered $50 to streak through a soccer game. Friend parked car on one side, I ran through. As I approach car close it drives off. So up. Then I was left naked without anything nearby to assist. It was reasonably dark so I kinda just snuck to my friend's house which was only 5 minutes away or so. I did get the $50 upon my return. Essex house. I am now a respectable employee at a respectable IT company that would be thoroughly appalled at my past. But when I was at university, there was a house a couple of streets down that was essentially orgy central. And it all started with a game of truth or dare. How the hell does a game of truth or dare create a Essex house? In the 7th or 8th grade, I was going back and forth with my friend with a bunch of risque dares. Flash your boobs. Show her my dick. Make out with each other. Dry hump. Etc. I eventually just went for it and dared her to blow me and she did it. I remember being so hard that I barely even felt anything. Initially. I kissed a girl. And I liked it. So I did it again. I saw. And later sucked on. My first pair of breasts as a teenager. We were all 17. And horny as hell. She had D cups. To say that her tits were awesome would be an understatement. Yes. It was worth it. Edited for clarity and better wording. Wish I got asked to play this enough to have one of these stories. Edit. First silver on Reddit for a sad ass comment. Still though. Thanks. So many others talking about their crushes and I'm over here thinking about the time a friend had to stand outside in his underwear. Shake a soda. I got to touch someone. Close bracket. Edit. I didn't mean to sound like a pervert. But thanks for the upvotes I guess. Slow down you pervert. A girl that I sort of liked got dared to spin the bottle and give a handy to whomever it landed on. The bottle landed on me. We did date for a while afterwards. Nobody ever included me. In university I got dared to knock on another student's room where it was clear there were people inside still up. We didn't know them. I had to knock on and pour water over my naked overweight male body whilst dancing and then run away. I later bumped into one guy who vaguely recognized me. I explained. He told me everyone in the room was tripping on acid and had no idea what had actually happened. I got my first kiss. I remember one time we were playing truth or dare and a girl, Not crushing on her but very cute. Got dare. The dare was to stroke my dick, with my shorts on, for 10 seconds. They chose me to have my dick stroked since I'm the ugliest one in the group, but it was really hot and she was a bit surprised when she thought it was bigger than expected. When the bottle finally landed on me after like 10 spins, I was so excited to participate that I chose dare. Of course the spinner was the biggest asshole of the group and dared me to leave the game. So I did. And I played tonsil hockey with his older sister 10 minutes later. Best dare ever. My then girlfriend dared our friend to do some SX stuff with me. I ended up leaving then GF for that girl. Me and that girl have now been together for 8 years. Married for 3. Have a beautiful daughter and hopefully another on the way soon. Best truth or dare game ever. Damn, I feel bad for X. I got to grind on an 8th grade girl when I was in 6th grade. While we were on the bus. Later on I also got to put my face in her boobs for like 2 seconds after I got another dare. I was in the 9th grade and was dared to send a picture of my willy to a girl. I found a random image during a quick Google search and sent it to her. As suspected, she showed all her friends and in return she responded with scandalous pictures. Jokes on her because I have a small willy and she'll never know that. A girl got asked to blow her brother. She did it and pucked on his dick. What is wrong with Popel? How to delete someone else's comment. I made out with a tree. We are still good pals. It isn't NSFW, but I was dared to yeet very close to the fence on the balcony of the 11th floor in a hotel. I found out my girlfriend was lying. Cheating. Leading me to dump her ass and move on. I then met my wife shortly after. 17 years running. Dude bet me I couldn't eat 2 pizzas. I was hungry enough to eat 2 pizzas and he paid. Huh. Got a lap dance from a girl, then had to helicopter dick for the girls in the room. Good time. Had to do jumping jacks in my underwear in front of the best friend of the fat girl that had a crush on me. A dick massage from same girl. Then I ended up railing her the same night. Now that I think about it. When I was about 16, I got to see 3 wonderful pairs of tits. I swear. It was like a shot from a movie. Small, medium and large pair all lined up in order. Out of pure coincidence. One of my best friends at the time got dared to flash everyone and 2 others just decided to join her cuz it. I guess. I ended up losing my virginity to one of them down the road after meeting her that night. Had a girl whom I had a huge crush on. And we were at the Imca daycare playing truth or dare in the back. Somebody dared her to kiss me. I wasn't a bad looking kid. But I certainly wasn't popular. We went to the closet and I told her she didn't have to kiss me if she didn't want to. She said I want to and I had my first kiss. There were fireworks. I was dared to get totally naked in front of the 5 girls that were playing with us. I was quite drunk so I did. Funnily enough. In the following 6 years I dated all 5 of them, not at the same time. And no. I'm absolutely average in that department. My friend dared her friend who was about 5 years older than me to get butt ass naked and lay on top of me for a minute long. In college I'd always get teased by my friends for still having my V card, so I started going out to kickbacks and parties with my friends more often. At one of the kickbacks we played truth or dare with alcohol, and eventually after a few too many shots one of my friends dared me to pick and announce the girl I most wanted to lose my virginity to, which I did pridefully. Turns out one of the girls I didn't choose had a crush on me. And she got visibly upset for the rest of the kickback. Towards the end, as people worked she followed me onto the balcony as I went for a smoke and asked me out. I was completely shook. We went on a few dates and the chemistry between us was not there, so I called it off. The good that came out of it is this situation is that I met my current girlfriend of 2 years. I was waiting for my ex outside one of her classes and I saw my friend walking with current GF. Who then proceeded to introduce us. PS. No longer a virgin.